Few things are more frustrating in the kitchen than watching butter melt beautifully in a hot pan, only for it to turn dark and smoky just moments later. One second it smells rich and delicious, and the next it smells burnt and bitter. Meanwhile, oil in the same pan seems to handle the heat with far less trouble. This small difference creates a big question in everyday cooking. Why does butter seem so delicate, while oil can survive much higher temperatures? The answer is hidden in what these two cooking fats are really made of, and understanding it can completely change the way food is cooked, right here on History of Simple Things. Butter is not simply pure fat. It is actually a mixture of butterfat, water, and milk solids. On average, regular butter contains about 80% fat, around 15 to 18% water, and a small amount of milk proteins and sugars known as milk solids. These milk solids include things like lactose and casein, which come from cream. When butter melts in a hot pan, all of these components react differently. The water begins to evaporate, often causing the familiar sizzling sound. As the temperature continues to rise, the milk solids settle and start cooking much faster than the fat itself. These milk solids are the main reason butter burns. They brown quickly and can go from golden and nutty to bitter and black in a short amount of time. This sudden change is why butter requires more attention during cooking compared to oil. Most cooking oils, such as vegetable oil, canola oil, sunflower oil, or avocado oil, are made almost entirely of fat. Unlike butter, they do not contain water or significant milk solids that can burn quickly. This gives them a major advantage when cooking at high temperatures. Because oil is mostly pure fat, it has a much higher smoke point. The smoke point is the temperature at which a fat starts to break down and produce visible smoke. For many oils, this temperature is much higher than regular butter. That means oil can stay stable longer in a hot pan before it begins to burn. This is why oil is often used for frying, searing, and roasting. It can handle intense heat without developing a bitter taste too quickly. Butter, on the other hand, is better suited for lower to medium heat cooking, where flavor matters more than heat resistance. Smoke point is one of the biggest reasons butter burns faster than oil. Regular butter has a smoke point of around 300 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on the type. Many common cooking oils have smoke points between 400 and 500 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a significant difference. Once butter reaches its smoke point, the milk solids begin to darken rapidly and release a burnt smell. The flavor changes from rich and creamy to sharp and bitter. If left too long, the butter can turn black and ruin the taste of the entire dish. Oil also breaks down when overheated, but it usually takes longer to reach that stage. This gives cooks more control, especially when preparing foods that require strong, direct heat. Understanding smoke point helps explain why the right fat matters for different cooking methods. Interestingly, butter burning is not always a bad thing. There is a stage before burning called browning, where the milk solids turn golden and create a deep, nutty aroma. This is known as brown butter, and it is often used in baking, pasta sauces, and desserts for extra flavor. Brown butter happens when the milk solids cook just enough to develop richness without becoming burnt. It requires careful timing because the window between perfectly browned and completely burned is very small. Just a few extra seconds can make a big difference. This shows that butter's lower heat tolerance can actually be useful. While oil is valued for stability, butter is often prized for flavor. Its tendency to brown quickly gives it a taste that oil simply cannot provide on its own. Many cooks solve the butter problem by combining it with oil. This method allows them to enjoy the flavor of butter while using the higher heat protection of oil. The oil helps prevent the butter from burning too quickly, making the pan easier to manage. For example, when cooking chicken, steak, or vegetables, starting with oil creates a stable cooking surface. Adding butter later brings richness and helps with browning and flavor. This balance gives the best of both worlds without the risk of immediate burning. Professional chefs often use this trick because it improves both taste and control. It shows that butter and oil are not really competitors. They are tools designed for different purposes in the kitchen. There is also a form of butter that behaves more like oil, clarified butter. This is made by removing the water and milk solids, leaving behind mostly pure butter fat. Since the parts that burn quickly are gone, clarified butter can handle much higher heat. Ghee, which is commonly used in Indian cooking, is a type of clarified butter with an even deeper flavor. It has a higher smoke point than regular butter and keeps the rich buttery taste while being more suitable for frying and sautéing. This proves that the real issue is not the butter fat itself, but the milk solids and water mixed into regular butter. Once those are removed, butter becomes far more heat stable and much less likely to burn. Butter burns faster than oil because it contains more than just fat. Its water and milk solids react quickly under heat, and those milk solids are especially easy to brown and burn. Oil, being mostly pure fat, can handle higher temperatures for a longer time before breaking down. This difference affects how food cooks, tastes, and smells. Butter adds rich flavor and beautiful browning, while oil provides stability and higher heat tolerance. That is why both have an important place in cooking. In the end, butter burning faster than oil is not a flaw. It is simply part of what makes butter unique. Knowing when to use each one is what turns simple cooking into better cooking. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.